In this video, I'm going to explain the 3 steps we follow in greasing the wheel bearings on our Polaris side-by-side. We'll be using a Polaris Turbo S as an example, but these have been the same steps I follow on our Ranger and Rzr 1000. Stick around to the end and I'll give you my thoughts on what to look for in a wheel bearing greaser. As always, please show your support by hitting the subscribe button and clicking the bell icon to turn on notifications. Step 1, getting access to the wheel bearing. Start off with getting your machine off the ground with the jack. Then move on to taking the tire off of the wheel bearing you're trying to grease. Next, you'll take off the cotter pin and take off the axle nut. Now, my personal opinion is we don't reuse cotter pins, but that's just my opinion, so take it for what it is and use your best judgment on yours. Once those items are off, then I remove the brake caliper and I pull off the hub. Use this time to inspect the brake pads, especially if you ride in mud a lot. From our experience, sandy mud will eat up those brake pads quickly. Step 2, inserting the bearing greaser. This step can be tricky if it's your first time. I insert the tool into the bearing, allowing the axle to come through the center of the tool. Then I use a Phillips screwdriver in the tip of the axle to hold up the shaft so the bearing greaser slides in straight. If you follow these steps, then the bearing greaser should slide in fine. Keep in mind not to force the tool in due to possibly causing damage to the bearing, or even worse, getting it stuck. Step 3, how much grease? Once I have the tool inserted, I give it 5 pumps of grease. Then I pull out of the bearing. Once out, I turn it a quarter of a turn and I reinsert the tool and repeat the process. I follow these steps until I've greased it 5 pumps at each quarter position. My thoughts is it should be pushing the grease equally through the bearing. If no grease is pushed through the sides, then I repeat the 4-quarter process again until I see evidence that the bearing is fully greased. Use your best judgment on this part. I've seen guys out there half a turn just greasing the top and bottom of the bearing. No matter what you decide to do, you're going to be much better off than the owners that don't even know how to grease their wheel bearings. Once this step is done, then I follow step 1 in reverse with putting everything back together and move on to the next wheel. Bonus tip, how to pick a wheel bearing greaser. From my experience, there are some cheap ones online that are not machined to the proper specs. So if it's much cheaper than the others, then there might be a fitment issue. So be careful when deciding which wheel bearing greaser to get. I'll link the tools we use in the description of this video. I have sizes 44 and 40 to grease all our current machines on a regular maintenance schedule. In conclusion, from my experience, wheel bearings come with very little grease from the factory. So even if your machine is new, I would suggest following these processes to grease your wheel bearings and keep them greased with a regular maintenance routine. Check out the description of this video for links to all the helpful products we suggest. Using the links in our description to buy these products helps us to continue to bring you great information like this video. Please show your support by hitting the subscribe button and clicking the bell icon to turn notifications. If this video has helped you, then please smash the like button and thank you for watching.